Windies managed to take a 2-0 lead despite a stressful ending. And yes, it was a stressful ending indeed. But Akil Hussain and कौन थे दूसरे बड़े भाई उन दोनों मिलके मार दिए and yeah, Alzari Joseph and Akil Hussain taking the West Indies to a 2-0 margin makes things harder and difficult for Hardik Pandya and the boys. Lots of things to discuss. Akshar Patel not getting a particular over. I understand that left-handers were there particularly in the middle order where Nicholas Puran, Shimron Hetmeyer, and Nathe. But yeah, again, he will probably use as a batsman and to add depth to that batting. Mustafa, didn't expect this coming, did we? 2-0.
I mean, not really. Yeah, I didn't expect 2-0 coming. But it was a close game in the end. I think India fought back pretty well. Again, that over the Ashdeep bowled, I would have liked to see Chahal if I'm a bit critical. But similar issues with this, this is a young team. They are making mistakes. I'm still fine with it. I'm not. It's not. I still feel that it's a good learning experience. But yeah, I thought that India would win the game today, especially batting first. It was a slow pitch. You saw West Indies did struggle to finish off the game. India, I think the way they bowled in the beginning, Nicholas Puran completely smashed them. They didn't have an answer for that. If they started off better in the power play, they would have been much better off and they could have still defended the score.
Yeah, I mean that's what we were looking at in the start of the game. Okay, 140 would be a good score to have here because the past three matches that have happened here in 145, 140, and 156 was what the target was batting first. So I think that was a decent thing. And the way India started off, two wickets in the first over, a brilliant catch by Surya Kumar Yadav in the covers. क्या जबरदस्त पकड़ा उन्हें पकड़े वालों ने खुद परेशान हो गया बॉस में कैसा पकड़ लिया रे like it stuck to his hand. I think it was a brilliant effort, and yeah, when you put effort in the field, you're definitely going to get the reward. The Surya Kumar managed to pick up a sensational wicket. But when you look at the batting, Shubman Gill again disappointing. Another beautiful run out by Kyle Mayers. Where is the problem that you feel is most evident? Is it five and like now it's like five because Sanju Samson came in and did something horrendous, bro. Like that was not expected from him at all.
Where do I think the problem is? It's very
because
difficult. It's
like
difficult
1 2 3 4 5 ये 5 में से तो 1 कभी नहीं परफॉर्म करा 1 नहीं परफॉर्म करा तो 5 कभी नहीं परफॉर्म करा इट्स लाइक क्या बोलते हैं वो
नहीं,
कोच
बस मगर अगर आप देखो पूरा ऑर्डर अगर आप देखो अपार्ट फ्रॉम तिलक वर्मा कोई भी कुछ नहीं करा हार्दिक पांड्या का ठीक है 24 रन है मगर अपार्ट फ्रॉम द कोई भी परफॉर्म नहीं करा तो इट्स ओवरऑल बैटिंग like everywhere even like Ishan Kishan you got off to a good start but it's about capitalizing taking it forward. Shubman Gill he's out of form right now. Surya Kumar Yadav run out ho gaya. So it's everybody like you need at least some partnerships, right? Like how do you win games? Big partnerships. If you have just one guy scoring a 50, it's difficult to win games. But still, I still feel that 150, 160 they could have defended it, and bowling should be a bit more scrutinized today. That's how I'm looking at it. But yes, batting wise. Someone from the top order, from the top three, one person needs to score big, right? Like whether that's Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar, or Shubman Gill, एक को अच्छा start देना है, 50-60 मार के, and then someone like Tilak Verma or something, if they add a 50, and then someone can finish it off. You need to build partnerships in the middle order, at the top order, and then finish strong. And India is not doing that. There's just like one guy scoring a 50, so that is a bit of a problem.
Again, आप देखो when Windies going with the same team and like they had just one Akil Hussain, right? Apart from that, the fast bowlers again bowled a brilliant spell. I think that was something that I was very impressed by, particularly Romario Shepherd was sensational in his overs. I think Alzari Joseph as well. So I like how these fast bowlers are able to adapt to these kind of pitches. Indian point of view, yeah, Akshar Patel, like Ibrahim correctly points out, what was the point of when Akshar in this game what was Akshar in this game for didn't bowl on a pitch assisting spin? Again, I think because he's he's a finger spinner, like he He's an off spinner, and it was probably going to come in, which would make it things much more easier for
Puran
Nicholas
was
Puran.
batting.
And
That was the problem.
Puran was
Puran was
batting,
batting.
yeah,
If
Puran
it
and
was anybody
Hetmeyer
else
as
batting,
well.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
yeah, it's mad. If there was a righty there, like again, we matchups का problem हो रहा है अक्षर
Exactly.
पटेल के साथ. It does happen in cricket, and that's where you maybe need to find solutions on how to bowl to left-handers if you're a left-arm spinner. But that is the reason I think he didn't bowl. If
Yep.
Puran wasn't there, if Hetmeyer wasn't there, then you would have definitely seen Akshar Patel at least bowl 1 or 2 overs. And yes, it was assisting spin. I would have liked to see an over, but I think Hardik Pandya, especially after seeing the last game, and then Faiz's comments also, maybe he was trying to protect Akshar Patel, because maybe he would have got hit a bit more. Even with the new ball Faiz, I didn't think they were effective enough. Like West Indies were much better. Yes, Kishan got off to a start, but apart from that, they kept India in check, right, in the power play.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
India didn't do that. Like I think power play they weren't good enough. Yes, they fought back well. I think Chahal bowled superbly well. Bishnoi was decent too. But yeah, overall, I was disappointed with India, like in the bowling perspective. But again, like I look at it a bit differently than you. I still feel that there's a young team. They will learn. These are losses that you need to take. I'd rather take these L's than next year lose, like win all these bilaterals and then next year lose in the World Cup and not qualify for the semis. So
Yeah, I mean, see the preparation of the World Cup. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You take all of the losses, but the thing is to learn from the losses. Like this is exactly the same loss that we had in the last T20. It's the
yeah,
exact
but
same.
like,
Like
but
to
first I
dissect
can
it.
tell you the
So
same thing.
I get it. I get it. एकदम मैं आपकी बात समझ गया. Instances आप face करे, situations आप face करे. The thing from a bilateral perspective is to learn from those mistakes and then make whatever mistake. Yeah, make whatever mistakes you do, but at least make a mistake that it's not becoming obvious. Like you have the batting problem or you have a bowling problem. So learn from it. Yeah, I still am not going to be very critical. Like I agree where you're coming from. कि भाई it's just the beginning of the session. अभी एक साल है T20 World Cup को, but I don't want to take it all the way till the T20 World Cup. saying एक आध अच्छा जीतेंगे, I'm pretty sure इसमें भी जीतेंगे, but and then पूरा perspective बदल जाता. But the only
मगर
thing is
देखो
like ये
at least it's
similar
still
patterns
better.
है.
बट मगर वही तो लाइक 2022 में आप जो वर्ल्ड कप हारे, उससे पहले भी 2021 में भी हारे, वो भी repetition of mistakes are with big players. So like I understand that yeah, you have to learn from your mistakes, but sometimes वो नहीं होता. But at least here वहां पे क्या होता था, bilaterals आप वो करते थे and वहां पे आप दब जाते थे. Here maybe they will learn from the mistakes. Maybe they won't learn immediately. Maybe आगे जाके they will learn, because if you continue to lose like more often than not, then what will happen is that when the big tournament comes, you'll understand, ठीक है भाई, ऐसा हम लोग गलत करे, this is how we're going to improve. You will try to strive harder. What was happening, I'm just looking at a different perspective. What was happening with India before is that आप bilateral सब सोच देते थे, फिर World Cup में you thought, yeah, we don't need to make any improvements, and then you should lose every single World Cup in the T20s when Kohli, Rahul and Rohit Sharma were there, because over there were repetition of mistakes as well since 2019. So here, that's how I'm looking at it right now. And it's a young team. They'll continue to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes in the next game too. They're going to make the mistakes 2-3 months down the line too. But I would rather these guys make mistakes rather than going with your old force and than losing a World Cup, right?
नहीं बिल्कुल. I think yeah, वो तो I think point भी नहीं रहेगा अगर आप पुराने लोगों को लेके आके try to adjust them just for the sake of a World Cup. वो तो नहीं. आप जो टीम है, जो Wolf Pack है या जो भी है, make sure that you keep these guys together till like next year World Cup, and then you'll have a in terms of chemistry, in terms of everything, आपकी team एक set हो जाएगी. उधर जाके mistakes अगर आप करें, then I'm not going to compensate that. Like you have the whole year to make mistakes.
How you can improve on that? How you
Yeah.
can improve in that? You go to different leagues, you go to different conditions, you
Yeah,
play.
that
That's
though
how you're going to
like that is like far fetched
But
because
that's the
of
thing.
whatever.
But that's the thing, right? If you're not going to do that, then these mistakes will repeat, because you're only playing IPL, and like IPL is not is nothing compared to international cricket on the levels in terms of T20 cricket too. Look at this, like these same players go, their strike rate is 170, 180 in the IPL. Over here, they're struggling to even get to 50 runs. So my point is, like, you have to rub shoulders in other leagues and everything if you want to improve and try to cut your
ये
mistakes.
बात already like we did this when we were doing the 100 review or 100 का जो भी review था. अब 100 से ज़्यादा Harry Brook played in 100. I'm going to get to that as well. But 100 के review में हम लोग यही बोले थे कि if the Ranji players can get sort of a format where they can get to spread their wings and go outside and somewhere like that and play different league. But again, it's India and I don't know
But then
what
आप
logic they
जो
have.
mistakes के
आप
बारे
वही
में
देख
बोल
लो.
रहे हैं,
पाकिस्तान का देख लो आप. They're in Sri Lanka right now, like we've already spoken. They're already like around the world, so they know these conditions better. They perform better in England than us. They
वही
did
तो है.
perform
तो
better in
आप जो मिस्टेक्स के बारे में बार बार कर रहे हैं, यही तो होगा, राइट? अगर आप एक्सपोज नहीं हो रहे ये कंडीशंस में, आप ये डिफरेंट प्लेसेस में नहीं खेल रहे, डिफरेंट बॉलर्स के अगेंस्ट नहीं खेल रहे, तो आप एक्सपोज तो होंगे, आप बार बार मिस्टेक्स करेंगे. दैट्स द प्रॉब्लम, राइट? एंड दिस, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट्स अ सॉल्यूशन, बट दैट्स वन थिंग दैट कैन हेल्प इंप्रूव योर टीम.
100%. I mean, that's one way of looking at things, and also I think जिस तरीके से players है on their individual skill, bro, and their shortcomings, like the short ball again, Akshar Patel just pitched it all again. He
Yeah.
went to hit. So these short balls, these things, I think they're much better than that at this point of time. But again, yeah, conditions do play a very major part.
Then,
I understand, but you need to be like. Come on, like you can't keep saying कि भाई श्रेयस अय्यर के पास शॉर्ट बॉल प्रॉब्लम है इसके बाद या इतना तो इक्विपमेंट है आई थिंक
but
अपन
you will,
ये
right,
चला
until
जाए
you
या
until you go and play in different conditions, you will have this problem. आपको प्रॉब्लम यही होगा अगर आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जाके खेलेंगे नहीं, आप वेस्ट इंडीज में खेलेंगे नहीं, साउथ अफ्रीका में नहीं खेलेंगे, तो देन वही प्रॉब्लम होगा, राइट? सिंपल एज दैट. अब इन लोगों को देखो, वुमेन्स जो क्रिकेटर्स है, yeah, we do lose in big tournaments, this and that, but they've improved in the last few years, and because they do play big bash, they do play in the 100, they play in different conditions. Smriti Mandhana has improved as a player, you can see completely, like she's worked on her weaknesses. यहाँ पे इसलिए तो नहीं हो रहा, आप जो बोल रहे बार बार शॉर्ट बॉल पे आउट हो रहा, बिकॉज उन्हें इंडिया में खेल रहा हर वक्त, रांची वहीं खेल रहा, आईपीएल वहीं खेल रहा, उसको जाके एक टूर रहता ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, वहां पे उन्हें ठीक है कभी लग जाता तो लग गया ना तो फेल. सो दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम आल्सो, यू हैव टू बी एक्सपोज्ड टू डिफरेंट कंडीशंस. But
yeah
yeah,
but again
in today's game, if you see, like again, like you mentioned, short ball was an issue. Hardik Pandya also, again, I expected more from him.
I think that was a good ball, but I
It
think
was
it
a
was a good
decent
ball.
delivery, but like still, you expect more from him.
For me, it was
Shubman Gill.
Ishan Kishan's wicket, man. Ishan Kishan just completely missed the line of the ball. I think it skated on and a little bit of
Yeah,
movement, but he completely didn't know where the ball went. I think he just got blinded for a minute. Kyle Myers again in the field, bhai, kya run out kara उन्हें फिर से. I think it
yeah.
was last time it was Sanju Samson. This time it was Surya Kumar Yadav. Samson, ये नाम थे. अब मेरे को बोलो भाई, there it was when you know the turning condition, when you know the pitch is a bit slow, and you just come in. Yes, you've hit like
आगे
I
बढ़
think
के.
you hit a boundary or you hit something, and then you get a little confident. But why did you come up so confidently when you're facing? I think Akil Hussain was it, uh, and he's a left arm. He's going to turn it away from you. It was a bad decision, man. Like I was shocked to see that shot. 2 मिनट को
Yeah,
मैं देखा भाई तेरे को 6 महीने के बाद 2 मैच मिल रहे, यूज कर वो चीज को.
तो नोटिस करे आईपीएल में भी, लाइक जब थोड़ा
Yeah,
कंडीशंस टफ हो जाते हैं, इतने लो स्कोर्स हो रहे, बैटर्स आर नॉट फाइंडिंग सॉल्यूशंस इन टफर कंडीशंस. इंडियन बैट्समैन शुभमन गिल सेम थिंग, आई कैन टेल यू. उन्हें जो गुजरात में मारा था, अच्छे फ्लैट पिचेस थे, यहाँ पे जब
yeah.
थोड़ा सा स्लो है, जब सरफेस पे नहीं आ रहा, उसके उससे उसके बदले से रन नहीं आ रहे. सैमसन का भी सेम बोल सकते हैं आप, सूर्या कुमार का भी सेम बोल सकते हैं. तो व्हाट इज दिस प्रॉब्लम? इज इट बिकॉज यू नॉट
One
प्लेइंग
trick
ऑन टफर
pony.
पिचेस, you don't have not one trick pony, I don't know what it is, like you need to develop batters in this age where they can stick it out in tougher conditions and manage to score runs, find solutions. Ab Nicholas Puran ki batting dekh lo. I mean Tilak Verma is a big positive. I think the way he played on this
Yeah,
pitch is a huge positive. He needed
yeah.
some support, so I would count that as a good innings. But you need more of that from your other players, and it's surprising because you do still expect this Indian team to win games here, even this Indian team to beat the West Indies. But yeah, like it is surprising that whenever the going gets a bit tough, Indian batsmen, whether that's Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, or whether it's Sanju Samson,
KL
Surya
Rahul.
Kumar, they struggle. Yeah, they struggle in these conditions, and it's been a while. I think Virat Kohli is the only guy I know from the modern generation जो tough conditions में जब ball हिल रहा है या ball turn हो रहा, turn
He
में भी नहीं
managed to
बोल
do
सकते आप,
something.
मगर at least जब bounce से swing हो रहा, he can challenge himself and score runs. But on these turning pitches, you remember 2016 Nagpur against New
Hmm.
Zealand T20 World
Yeah,
Cup. जब
yeah.
से मैं देख भाई इन लोग टर्निंग पिचेस में इनको आ रहा ही नहीं खेलने, एंड आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट द थिंग इज, एंड इट इज going to be a big issue because the World Cup will be in India, and if the ball you're going to play in
Turn.
Lucknow, you're going to
Yeah.
have a bigger problem than England and these guys because you're not being able
And
to
you've
find a
got
solution.
decent bowlers, like you've got good leg spinners, you've got like people who've
Yeah.
played in India IPL this year, they know what they're expecting. क्या ही बोल सकते हैं. I mean ये कॉम्पिटिशन चलो ठीक है, T20 का मैच है. I'm not even like very, like you said, I'm not very worried about this T20 right now, but the problem is not that we lost the match. The problem इधर है कि भाई प्लेयर की capability पे क्वेश्चन आ रहा है कि are they capable enough to play outside India first of all, and are they able to play in conditions which are little challenging. That's the
No, I
major
think
question, bro.
I think they are. I think they are. Look, they are capable, but they have to play more. They have to be exposed more. They have to play in these conditions. They have to play in different
We're
conditions.
two
That's
months to the
yeah.
World, but we're 2 months to the World Cup, if we're still stuck at short ball issues, when this team has been playing at least from 6 8 months good together, that really makes you like concerned कि भाई इंडिया में अगर बॉल थोड़ा बहुत फर्स्ट 10 overs में तो it'll be tricky, right? Like obviously थोड़ा बहुत fresh रहेगा, and new ball के साथ थोड़ा movement अगर मिल गया, like if Trent Bolt gets into the New Zealand squad or something, he'll make life hell, bro. Like he knows those pitches
या
very well.
मगर वही
So,
है, अब देखना पड़ेगा पिच कैसा रहेगा, राइट? अगर पाटा
हाँ.
विकेट है तो फिर ठीक है, अब यही वही देखना पड़ेगा कि कैसा विकेट रहेगा. अहमदाबाद में मे बी इट्स गोना बी शुभमन गिल्स अगेन, लाइक हिज पैराडाइज, he'll come and score 150
But if
against
he's facing
Pakistan.
a 145, 150 Shine Afridi, Naseem Shah, then I want to see how he's gonna bat
But
against him.
again, it depends on the condition, right? If there is
Conditions, yeah.
something in it for Shine Afridi, then okay. If it's a flat pitch, then he'll handle him. Right, like it depends
Yeah.
on the conditions and the situation there, and sometimes क्या होता है, the pitch and the condition will it'll block or it'll cast a shadow of your actual weaknesses, paper over the cracks bolte nahi. That's what will
Hmm.
happen. So I assume this is what's happening over the last few years and will continue to happen. But yeah, have you seen
Ibrahim, I
Rohit's
have seen
latest?
his interview and you. Yeah, I mean, I've seen very bits, so I don't see the whole, which hinted that he and Kohli will be back in the T20 when the focus. और इसकी तो hinted बोले तो क्या बोला भाई? Like his hints are very subtle. Even with Shreyas Iyer, he didn't say. He just said that's like let's keep the fingers crossed. बोल के बोला था for Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah.
But I don't know what he means by that. I mean, if Hardik continues this form until like December, maybe then they'll start questioning that batting lineup. But I would not want that because I potentially want a younger squad to face a loss probably now.
Yeah, because the thing is, look, you've lost your last two World Cups with Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli at the wheel, right? If you're gonna
Hmm.
lose, like I would rather lose it with Hardik Pandya, like then go again to that same thing, because at least there's something different, and at least आगे जाके these guys can it'll give them exposure for आगे जाके World Cups. So, for example, if Tilak Verma plays in the next T20 World Cup instead of a Virat Kohli or a Rohit Sharma, it might strengthen him as a player, because that's the same thing happened with Rohit Sharma in 2007. He came into the team because there was no Sachin, there was no Ganguly, Dravid. That's why
Ganguly,
Rohit
yeah.
Sharma played in that T20 World Cup, and he turned out to be a winner, and you
Winner,
saw
winner,
him
yeah.
his career lifted. So that's what I would rather like to see in the T20 format. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. I
No, but
love
you've got
watching them
enough
every day.
T20 people like waiting in the lines. Like you've got other players. You've got Jaiswal as an opener. You've got so many options in the
Yeah, because you
T20
need to
circuit.
test these guys. You need to
And
put them
yeah,
there,
yeah,
make them. If they lose, no problem. But
yeah.
you test them and you put them
Give
in
them
those waters.
the and
Uh,
agar and see you've been practicing you've been working together since January 2023. You've got potentially one whole year, 1 year and a half is very good time to make a team out of a T20 World Cup.
yeah,
Like it's a very good decent. If you go there, see the mistakes that you're making now. If you make it in the World Cup, I'm gonna call you out. Like stupid mistakes. Like maybe if it's like an error in something, whatever, I won't mind. But like if it's like basics, cricket basics, in the whole year you've been together and you're telling me you don't have a team compatibility, then that's stupid.
yeah. No, but the thing is, even when you do have a team compatibility, you still go and screw up in the World Cup. That's my
Yeah, you
point.
screw up. The point is like I'm just waiting for that. What screw up will that be? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but because like in my opinion, 2014 say 2012 say Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma has enough shots at the T20 World Cup. They've had enough
Hmm.
chances. It's nothing against them. I just want to groom. Like I would rather see these players
It's
grooming
like
and lose a World Cup. If they win, that's a big bonus. If they lose, they lose. It's okay. But at least it
it's
grooms them
it's like
for the
that.
future.
It's like that famous dialogue in MS Dhoni the movie. It's like आपके लिए एक एक अच्छा बैट्समैन अच्छा एक इनिंग्स खेलेगा. एक अच्छा कभी वो ओवर डाल देगा. लेकिन like a fielder, you need fielder. You need agile fielder. You know, not that Virat Kohli is not a great fielder and stuff, but like Rohit Sharma, he might be alive. This guy might be a liability in the field. This guy might like not be that consistent anymore. So like it's better to give a younger person generation, like younger
Yeah,
generation,
I think
opportunity
yeah,
to
this
grow.
50 over World Cup, like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, all attention will be on them. They have to play, and hopefully they perform. They are
Yeah.
biggest, weapons going into the World Cup, and hopefully they do perform. But then T20 तो मैं अलग देख रहा हूँ. अब ये मैच में भी देखो मेरा यही था कि you made individual mistakes, they made errors, and they will have to learn, and they have to continue to play as a unit. They have to try. Ireland में भी शायद गलतियां करेंगे उन लोग, but at
बिल्कुल.
least playing in different conditions, playing in against different oppositions will help them improve as a team. I'm sure they will, but I like going like this. I would like them to put in this
Yeah, and
situation.
see, the T20 again shouldn't be the main focus at this point of time. So that's all right. I mean, and T20 World Cup ke time pe, I think the only person that will fit in for me, not even Rohit Sharma, so Virat Kohli. Like even if you have worse comes to worse, the only senior I would probably mind not playing is Virat Kohli because he's good still in the field. He's good, like still he'll do his bit. It's not like he's gonna be a nuance. But like Rohit Sharma and like these guys are slow players. These guys don't deserve an opportunity like in the T20 sphere. But maybe only person that'll fit in because like whatever you need, Virat Kohli. Ab again subject to his fitness and stuff. वो बात की बात है. World Cup ka again, it's just 2 months away, and like the ODI performances also were okay, but it was not flattering, right? It was not like good 50 over performances from India. So that's also one concern that we're having right
And I had concern with the bowling also. Again, today I had a bit of a concern, and but in general, one day, yeah, T20 bowling ka issue ho raha.
now.
I just hope that these bowlers find the rhythm again, find especially in the power play, show some control with the new ball. Death overs, I was still a bit happier the way Mukesh bowled, but in
Yeah.
general, I would like to see the bowlers put in better performances going in towards that World Cup, because bowlers win you games and they win you tournaments. So maybe batsmen win you games, bowlers win you tournaments. It's very important. In the last T20 World Cup, we didn't pick up a wicket in the semi-final. So yes, I know Bumrah is not there, but that doesn't mean you can't develop bowlers, or you can't produce bowlers who can pick up wickets and win you matches. You can't just rely on Bumrah. England didn't have Archer; they still won the World Cup. So I would like to see the bowling unit coming together and applying pressure on the opposition, and then the batters doing their job, playing more freely as well.
Yeah, it's become like a seesaw, right? कभी bowling नहीं चल रही, कभी batting नहीं चल रही, कभी दोनों नहीं चल रहे. So it's just been like everybody just need to take accountability and responsibility, do their
You
respective
think
part.
Sanju Samson, Surya Kumar Yadav, they have this thing playing in their mind कि अगर इन लोग आगे तो हम लोग निकल जाएंगे, and they're trying too many things when they're going out to bat and making it a
I,
bit more complicated for themselves.
I don't know about Surya, because Surya seems like a character who doesn't really care about anything. Like he thinks like मैं खेल लिया तो बस है. Like at that moment, if I'm playing, I'm playing. I feel like he's that kind of a character who. Sanju, yes, you can see it on his face, because whenever he's on the batting thing, he knows like there's a lot of eyes on him. There's a lot of responsibility, a lot of people waiting for him, and yeah, it's like his opportunity, because he's seen that happen with him in the beginning of the year. Knee injury हो गया, subside हो गया. KL Rahul became a KL ईशान किशन को रखते हुए KL Rahul became a wicket keeper. तो ये सब चीजों की वजह से ऑब्वियसली इट प्ले इन योर माइंड लाइक अरे भाई देयर आर मल्टीपल पीपल ऑलरेडी बिहाइंड माय स्पॉट एंड विकेट कीपिंग क्या है अगर ऋषभ पंत आ गया देन अगेन ही इज गोना हैव टू वर्क ट्रिपल हार्ड राइट so I think obviously he's going to be playing Surya Kumar ka kya hai, the way he is as a player 50 over format he knows it doesn't suit him probably that well but he T20 में no one will touch him so I think he's much more like he knows like हाँ भाई T20 में तो अपना चल जाएगा
Yeah, वही है मेरे को like सैमसन का भी दिख रहा कि like because of the past और pick and drop हो रहा है फिर बीच में injured हो गया like उसका regularity नहीं है टीम में थोड़ा सा he's overthinking it and making some mistakes and maybe that could be one of the reasons too like for him playing these kind of shots.
he could have taken his time today and like batted and made out an innings out of it. I don't know why he just decided to be abrupt. Now it's Hardik Pandya going for an England kind of an approach where he's saying just play your heart out and whatever you feel like, do whatever you feel like. I'll back you. If he's done that, that's also a good way of looking at things. But again, I think it should just be calculative risk rather than just going up and about and just on a. It's a turning wicket. You know what's coming to you. Akil Hussain is going to turn it out. You know all of these things. अभी आप एक बाउंड्री मार के आप थोड़ा एक्साइटेड हो गए बट you could have probably just driven it on the covers and probably got in somehow single or something but I mean it happens these things happen he has a 50 no doubt after coming out a long time he still managed to hit a 50 we'll have to give him time but he does deserve time that's what I would say like he still deserves time for me because it's going to be till he gets like a good innings a good run of games at least like 5-6 games 50 over I'm saying not even like T20 में तो बहुत टाइम है अभी assessment करने बहुत टाइम है वो T20
बट उसका यही प्रॉब्लम है उन्हें आईपीएल में भी कितने सालों से खेल रहा है उन्हें एक दो फ्लैशी इनिंग्स खेलता है उसके बाद रन्स नहीं बनाता सो आई होप दैट ही चेंजेस दैट फॉर इंडिया बट इट्स बीन अ प्रॉब्लम विद संजू सैमसन दैट ही इज इनकंसिस्टेंट बट आल्सो ब्रो द Alzari Joseph six today. That was crucial because they came to a point where India only needed 2 wickets. The over that Chahal bowled and then Mukesh Kumar bowled were brilliant overs. They applied the
yeah
pressure on West Indies. It felt like India could have won the game because there's only 2 wickets remaining. Akil Hussain, of course, he played brilliantly, but Alzari Joseph hitting that six as well.
oh
Yeah, that was a crucial thing. So from the West Indies point of view, Nicholas put on big positive, and the way they finished it off was really good, and the bowling wise too. Because we were saying that अरे क्या West Indies team है ये बेकार है ये वो, but look, they've drawn one test match with the help of rain. They've won one day match. They've won 2 T20 games. It's not been that successful of a tour for India, and West Indies have done pretty well right now. And if they win one more
yeah
game, that's it. The series is done. And yeah, that's it'll be a decent tour for West Indies, right? Overall.
Yeah, I think they're trying out a different approach. I think West Indies, the way they used to play, and I think now the way they're playing, they look like their decision making has been better from what I've seen in the qualifiers at least. Like Akil Hussain was coming at number 11 in the qualifiers. So I think they're realizing कि भाई batting की क्या अहमियत है. They're reading the conditions much better than what they were. Taking the right decision in terms of the toss as well. I mean, toss to India, I think they batted first,
One,
but
yeah.
apart of that, apart like you see how the bowlers are executing their overs. You see the same thing in the World Cup qualified. They came and they bowled loose over. Like Jason Roller got smacked there. Even Zari Jola was getting smacked. And these are reputed bowlers. I think now they're understanding what value they have to bring to the team, and they're all just taking accountability, doing their part together. And like Nicholas Paranto is in baseball mode. Like he doesn't give a damn. आप स्पिन
one of the
करो अंदर
best
डालो,
players.
he's smashing it. Like he said, and he said this is not like a purple patch, it's just I worked so hard on my game. ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरे को हाथ में लाके दे रहा है. I worked very hard. 2 years I was getting criticized and I kept working on my game.
And he did it in tough conditions. ऐसा नहीं है कि flat
Yeah.
pitch था or anything like that.
Yeah.
उन्हें tough conditions में वही खेला उन्हें, like baseball, like a really good strike rate फोड़ दे रहा था उन्हें bowling को.
Yeah.
तो he खतरनाक player और Nicholas Puran, तो I really like that guy, man. I felt worse when he moved from Hyderabad than Rashid Khan. I really like that player. I think Shreyas Iyer should be given opportunity in the T20 team when he is fit. Last T20 World Cups, he was just a reserve player. That's the biggest question. If he's fit, like if he's fit, then yes, he can get the opportunity. If he's fit, plays game, scores runs, then of course he can get an opportunity. But again, you have the short ball issue. If the World Cup is in West Indies, USA, or if he's moved to England, wherever, he's going to have problems. So let's see how he performs. But I think in the West Indies, if the tracks are like this, Shreyas Iyer would perform well. That's how I feel. So I don't mind, but if he's fit, that's the problem with Indian cricket. Nobody's fit right now, man, and that is the big concern going into these two big World Cups in the next few months.
Yeah, I think at this point of time, Shreyas Iyer is only going to get into the team if he's able to play a good World Cup. World Cup. Like if he's able to play a
I don't
good
even
World
know
Cup,
if he's
then
going
he
to
can.
play the World Cup because that
Exactly.
slip disc is a big problem, man.
Yeah, the slip disc is a big problem. KL Rahul ka bhi nahi malum. And then when Rishabh Pant comes back, a lot of things change as well. When Rishabh Pant gets into that team, so then number 6 ka problem, number 5 mein it'll get much better. I think we're missing Rishabh Pant a lot in that particular department. And yeah, I think it's just been. Abhi to, again, that's the problem. It's just 2 months away. We don't have the schedule. We don't know what our combination is. It's just getting annoying as an Indian fan right now. कि भाई क्या होने वाला है, कैसा करने वाला है,
Well,
कैसा.
another worry is Shubman Gill's form. He's
Hmm.
not been scoring runs for a long time now. I mean, it's not a long time, but it's been a period of time. And people are getting uneasy because he's had such a purple patch. Again, I won't put too much pressure on him and everything, but if he continues this form in Asia Cup, World Cup, it's going to be a big problem, right? Like you need Shubman Gill at least to contribute, get off the scratch. I'm not saying he has to score 100, but
Yeah.
he's getting out in single-digit figures too often for my liking. Get off to like 30, 40. I know बीच में उन्हें मारा था 70, 60 in the thing, but I would just like to see him on a difficult surface score a 50. Whether that's in 60 balls or whether that's in 30 balls, it doesn't really matter, but get some runs on a
I
difficult
mean,
surface.
I'd say this is like not very tricky, the surface, right? So like it's
It
slow.
is thoda slow. It's not
It's
easy to bat
I
on.
mean,
Like it's
as an
speed
as an
zone mein maar
Indian
sakte
player, you
hain.
can still bat. Like as an Indian batsman, you can
But
still bat.
that was when you're talking about हम लोग 20 साल पहले जो हमारे Indian players थे. Not now, right? Like these Indian players are not good against spin fast. Who is good? Tell me.
Yeah,
Even Virat Kohli, I'm not convinced against spin. Rohit Sharma, I'm not
yeah, he's
convinced
had an
against
issue
spin.
with left arm, leg
Yeah,
spin, and
so
left arm.
like I don't agree with that anymore. You're right if this was 10, 15 years ago when Ganguly and these guys were playing, but right now it's a completely different thing. Actually, you know where Indian batsmen are most comfortable these days? In Australia. You see,
Australia,
like
yeah,
ऑस्ट्रेलिया में आप कोई भी फॉर्मेट खेलो वहां पे उन लोग ज्यादा सुकून में दिखते हैं फास्ट बाउंसी अच्छा सा खेलते they can play the pull shot they can play thing apart from Shreyas Iyer everyone is comfortable in those conditions
yeah,
so that is the problem I think in tougher conditions we need our batsmen to do better I'm not going to take a dig at him and saying that this is the wrong time to lose form because he's had a golden year so far or golden
yeah.
last 6 months but I just would like to see him step up his game when the going gets tough.
Yeah, I guess yeah. It has to happen. Like at some point of time, people just need to like again, individual areas में आपको work करना पड़ेगा. आप कितना भी गालियां दे दो Dravid को, कितना भी आप, it's always gonna come down to how the player is as well. You Dravid and
मगर
Rohit Sharma.
मगर उसको क्रिटिसाइज मैं इसलिए करता हूँ राहुल द्रविड़ को और उन लोगों को बिकॉज जब रवि शास्त्री व्हील पे था उसको धज्जियां उड़ा दिए थे राइट कि इन्हें खाली पार्टी करता उसको कुछ भी नहीं मालूम क्रिकेट के बारे में ये वो बट if you see Rahul Dravid's results has not improved compared to Ravi Shastri or anything like that, and that's where I don't know. Maybe he's being over disciplined. Maybe he's being overthinking things. Maybe there's something else. Then they're not sticking to their word at times. They're doing different things, and that's where he has to be criticized too. And if they don't win the World Cup, he's done. In my opinion, because it's
Yeah,
not
yeah, I guess.
like under his captain and under his leadership, he's got a good 2 years now. I haven't really seen much Faiz, like in my opinion. Like everyone said, Dravid आने वाला है, पूरा discipline लेके आ रहा है. Discipline लेके आया, मगर कहाँ results में तो फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा. It's actually declined. You've lost South Africa series, which you should have won. You didn't. you got destroyed in that T20 World Cup. You were lucky to reach the semi-final, in my opinion. You lost some games at home. You lost that Test match against Australia. You got to drawn that series. You're lucky that you got away 2-1. वो फ्लैट
Mm.
पिच था लास्ट में जब विराट कोहली लोग 100 मारे. इमेजिन वहां पे थोड़ा सा टर्न था या वो था कैमरन ग्रीन अगर घुस
Yeah.
गया समथिंग फिर क्या होता था 2-2 हो जाता था. So I've not been convinced with the results. I've not been convinced with any of the formats that India have played recently, and you have to that's where you have to question the coach, because Ravi Shastri was heavily criticized when India were not producing the trophies.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's one way of assessment, but like again, like just certain basic problems and stuff like that. I think the players should also take responsibility. Obviously, it's all going to be a collective thing. Ajit Agarkar coming in like a month ago, a lot of things have changed. Doping charges मालूम हो रहे, ये charges मालूम हो रहे, फिर इन्हें चले चेतन शर्मा चले आता, फिर अजीत अगर आते. So a lot of drama has been happening in the Indian thing now with the BCCI in the schedule. So something or the other is happening. But yeah, we'll keep like supporting and stuff. We'll keep watching and we'll know what happens in the coming few days. I think just need to wait each day. Pakistan has got the green signal to come to India finally from their government, and yeah, they're coming home. They're coming to India. They're coming to Hyderabad, and it's going to be fun to see Pakistan in the World Cup, especially in India. And yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, 100%. It's good they got the clearance and looking forward to it. And just hope that the schedule and everything is sorted. Ibrahim by saying that the Lucknow pitch, they dug it up and they're changing the soil used for the pitch, so it might not be and flat. I was not aware of that. I'll do some research on it. But from what I've seen in the last, not just IPL, even the India matches, it's been very poor
Mm,
pitches. So hopefully
yeah,
it's good that they're changing it, and hopefully it doesn't turn as much or thing. But even if it does turn, that's where I want the players to show some more confidence, show some more thing. I'm like, sometimes you can't do much with the pitch you're given with. You have to play ball, right? Like you got to
yeah,
find a solution to score runs in those. You see, like in the past, players have done it for India. Like other players also in other teams have done it. So that's where you're tested. If it's a flat pitch in Lucknow, that's good. Okay, fine for India, but overall, like there will be a pitch in the World Cup where it's going to turn. Then what are you going to do, right? So that's what I'm going to say.
yeah.
Whatever the condition is, you have to look to try and score runs, try to make the most of it.
Yeah, I can't give an excuse कि भाई ये pitch ऐसा है, आपको हर उधर खेलना ही पड़ेगा. And it's just how your team composition also, your team balance also. अभी बैटिंग डेप्थ इतना कर रहे depth. I mean कितना ही करेंगे, चलो 8 तक भी ला लिए बैटिंग, बट वो 8 बैट्समैन है यार, फिर भी कोई तो परफॉर्म करो. Like batting depth, I get that whole thing, but at least 7 batsmen में से 4 3 batsmen तो they should be able to do something.
Hmm.
That's what I don't ever get. Like, yes, you always talk about the tail being long and this and that, but 7 batsmen is still a respectable amount of batting in a T20 game, and even like whatever it is. But I mean, in the future, in like coming days, we'll definitely get more information. We will probably tomorrow join you guys for a review of the Lanka Premier League as well. We'll come to know what's happening on that side of things and what preparation the Pakistani players are doing there. I think Afghanistan also announced their team against Pakistan, so we'll look into that as well. And yes, till then, yeah, just let's hope for the best for India. India's next match is on the 8th of August, so we'll be coming back then for the preview, and then I think we move to Ireland. So yeah, thank you for joining me, Mustafa. Thank you for joining Ibrahim
Thank
Bhai and
you.
everybody. Yes, and have a nice night. Good night, everybody.